This is one of those discussions which I needed to address my opinion before it released. You know, one of those discussions. Since it concerns one of my favourite Nintendo franchises in recent years. But simply, this is personal. Indenton is a big fan of Fire Emblem, but if you prefer, you can call me Dan. Let's take a step back 2 weeks or so, post Nintendo Switch presentation. I predicted that we would get a Fire Emblem game for the Switch at some point, but it wouldn't appear during that presentation. To my surprise, however, one of the games shown off during the presentation was a Fire Emblem spin-off akin to Hyrule Warriors. You see some gemstones flying all over the place, then one by one, they pass by close to the screen to show the crossguard of a selection of swords, each belonging to associated characters across the series. They all come together with the Shield of Seals to complete the Fire Emblem. Fate a title in whatever language that is, and a brief shot of Chrom. That's it. That was the teaser trailer. No other info beyond a game title. I suppose Chrom will get his chance another day. However, we did get confirmation through the following Nintendo Treehouse events that they would be hosting a Fire Emblem focused Direct the following week. Thus, what I'm about to elaborate on in today's brief discussion. Nintendo felt it wasn't important to talk about Fire Emblem Warriors during an investor presentation besides acknowledging the game's existence. So prepare yourself! I predict today's discussion won't be so brief. The Direct opens with a glorious orchestration of the Fire Emblem theme. Then, Yuri Lowenthal happens.
Welcome to Fire Emblem Direct, your destination for news and updates on multiple new Fire Emblem titles.
Before I can recall the most recent thing I've heard Lowenthal in, he throws us into the gaping jaws of battle. That ain't Dynasty Warriors. This is far too story-centric for an action hack and slash, which means this is a trailer for a new Fire Emblem game. Those first two shots had some actual animation, but they ran out of time and just started cross-fading between keyframes. Also, we're stuck with subtitles. Come on, Lowenthal, you've got some vocal range, give it a shot. These character designs look more like traditional Fire Emblem. Here's some wartime jargon, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm finding this hard to follow with subtitles.
Soon, the glorious past will be reborn as Fire Emblem Echoes, Shadows of Valentia. This game is inspired by the second installment in the series, Fire Emblem Gaiden.
I've heard of Fire Emblem Gaiden before. Granted, it's a Famicom game which never released outside of Japan, so I merely recognise the title from my past research. Looks like it's finally making an appearance worldwide in the form of a remake. That's a 3DS overlay, alright. Bring that 3DS back over here, Shibata, the 3DS isn't dead yet. We got more of an adventure feel with Fire Emblem Echoes, color me interested. That's pretty soon, actually. Color me excited. Let's advance, shall we? Next, they announced a Fire Emblem for Nintendo Switch. Not much else to it. Slated for a 2018 release. Alright. Okay, Fire Emblem Warriors is showing its face again. It's an extended trailer this time. Hopefully, they will grace us with some actual gameplay. No, Chrom, you'll get your chance today. So Chrom, indeed, welds the falchion. Honestly, he looks like a pretty standard sword character right now. Then, just as we're getting started, the trailer ends. Yep, that certainly was an extension of about 17 seconds. Hopefully the game will be a bit more interesting with the drip feed of new content to announce, because we've seen it twice now and I'm pretty underwhelmed.
The game is being developed not only for Nintendo Switch, but also for new Nintendo 3DS systems.
No, that right there, that's amazing. We've learned virtually nothing new about this game, and within a week of its announcement, it's no longer a Nintendo Switch exclusive. Now that is how you support your new platform. You release it on a platform which can't handle it, so that it makes the Switch version look all the more better for it. To be fair, it might be a new 3DS exclusive this time around. It's no secret that Hyrule Warriors Legends ran pretty poorly on the standard 3DS.
Could have been worse though. They could have announced that they're carving up the game for DLC. That would be execrable. One game left, and it takes the lion's share of the presentation. Must be a big deal.
To battle.
While this graphical style is looking pretty familiar, that's fine by me, it looks nice. He's got some kind of decadent pistol, a new weapon type per se, so I don't recognise these characters. This may be a whole new cast of character. Oh, never mind. Xander and Lucina are just hanging out. What? He just shot his pistol and summoned Camilla and Crom. Now we have hard evidence. Goldie Looking Chain was wrong. Guns don't kill people, they create them. And it's ruining the economy! Fire Emblem Heroes. Yeah, it even sounds like a smartphone title. They're going all out with these cinematics as if it's a full-blown title. Though, as you can see, this is pretty faithful to the original games. Sure, the maps are much smaller, units can't move as many spaces, and you only appear to be able to command 4 units per battle. Part and parcel of working with a touchscreen alone, and designing the levels for shorter play sessions. From my experience, the DS interface is perfect for the Fire Emblem formula, with one of the 2 screens being devoted to viewing unit stats and equipment. Shadow Dragon used the touchscreen to freely select and move units across the field. No doubt, the traditional Fire Emblem formula would work on a smart device interface. Fire Emblem fans, new and old, will notice that we've got characters coming from all over the place, being summoned by these guys, supposedly.
Using an item called an orb, you can summon a hero to claim as your ally.
A new type of currency. I don't like where this is going.
Did you come to visit?
If that's how you wish to refer to waging war, then yes, Tiki, I've come to visit.
Orbs can be acquired during gameplay,
Oh no.
or through additional purchases at the shop.
No, no!
Or through additional purchases at the shop.
No! Nangrundo, what are you doing? Microtransactions. Are you serious? Straight after... You just... Alright, let me explain the situation. I urge you to hear me out, since this comes from a deep respect for this franchise. Nintendo released Super Mario Run on the 30th of December 2016. A predictable move, but a well-executed one for Nintendo's first approach towards smart device games nonetheless. And besides having Mario moving forward automatically, it holds true to the 2D platforming formula while streamlining the inputs so that you have proficient control with the touch interface alone. The most important detail, in my opinion, was that it's not a free-to-play game. Indeed, Nintendo are pushing an alternative strategy to other publishers. In turn, this paid software had no microtransactions. The excessive price has garnered some criticism, but the game has been breaking records for the most downloaded iOS app in its first week. That should speak volumes to the power of Nintendo's IPs. But is that it? Just one and done? Nice one then, Grundo. It's good to see that the pedigree of a premium paid product up front for a prolific series isn't good enough for Fire Emblem. And it's only just sprouted its wings within the last few years. You know, a lot of people were joking a while back that Smash Bros. Director Masahiro Sakurai should produce a Fire Emblem Smash Bros. Because this is what it would look like. But this isn't Smash Bros. This isn't Distia. This isn't just a celebration of the franchise's long history with players across the globe. This is a free-to-play game. You don't just put all of the most recognisable and beloved characters from a franchise into a single package and then distribute that package for free without some kind of underlining motive. That's not how business works. They'll get money out of the consumer, one way or another. The major difference is how they're generating the revenue and the situation in which they place their audience in order to even use the product. Instead of incentive for buying a product you haven't got yet, you're punished for not paying for a product you already have. This is my problem with Fire Emblem Heroes. Games with microtransactions are intentionally designed to get you into that comfort zone at first, make you feel like you won't need it at first. I'm getting plenty of in-game currency. I'm good at this game. I won't need to pay for any additional stuff. It'll start off fairly generous with the rewards, and then gradually, or suddenly, your supplements are cut off and you start to run out of resources. But don't worry, there's a quick and easy way out of this situation. It's simple to use. They have a limitless supply for everyone. They'll even give you incentive to use it in bulk. maybe some of you will defend this practice. Yuri Lowenthal did say you can earn orbs through completing battles, but if you take a closer look right here, quest cleared, February quests, KO flying foes, and that quest rewarded a measly 1 orb. So this wasn't earned through a standard victory, instead you have to meet the criteria of a selection of monthly challenges. You need 5 orbs to summon a single character, and even if you're willing to pay up, you only have control of which group of classes you would like. You earn orbs through finishing battles the old-fashioned way, from which I shall retort, said who? Did you assume that based on what Lowenthal told us? This is a good demonstration of the phrase, a picture paints 1,000 words. What Lowenthal said seemed straightforward, and it's understandable why people would believe that from what he said. But this single screen shown as Lowenthal said that tells us in actuality what they meant by that. Now we're shown the summoning process. Lowenthal was crossing his fingers for Long Ku, and to his dismay summoned Olivia.
The timid dancer Olivia. Can't rely on dancing all the time.
Then, on his second draw, he gets the Long Ku.
Excellent. Yes. The stoic swordsman Long Ku.
Technically, they both belong to the same unit group, but they are completely different classes for entirely separate situations in the game. But the chances of you summoning your desired character straight off the bat like that are going to be pretty low, especially if the occurrence rates are skewed. I mean, you see this, right? Looks like some characters will be appearing more often than others. That means duplicates. It's going to be like football sticker books. Ooh, my favourite part of my childhood. Have you seen how many characters span across the series? Each game has around 40 to 50 characters each. They're not going to include every single character, sure, but if you're hoping to summon your desired characters that quickly, good luck. But of course, they needed to take necessary actions in order to divert your attention from the free-to-play side effects. They ended the video with a Choose Your Legend event, where you can go to this website and vote for characters you would like to be featured in a special event of some kind. They've pretty much included every single playable character across the franchise, and you can vote for extra characters every day until day before release. No wonder they devoted a majority of the Direct towards this. That's less than a week from the time I'm recording this. But I don't forget details. You don't forget having your expectations dashed. What about the other Fire Emblem games they just announced? Echoes is likely safe since it's pretty close to launch itself. What's stopping them from tampering with Warriors and their untitled Switch game? Why not try this pay model with other Nintendo games coming to smart device? Not to mention that Animal Crossing might get caught in the crossfire. They were announced at the same time after all. So, I'm excited for the future of Fire Emblem. It's always good to hear that the franchise has gotten the love and attention it deserves and returns victorious. It's just that Fire Emblem Heroes really bothers me. Yeah, the fan service, it's great, but seeing how they pretty much abandoned the pay model from Super Mario Run really pushes me away. The more I talk about this, the more I realise that I'm not going to be able to stay away from this game, am I? I may begrudgingly end up giving this game a shot at some point. Despite everything, it still piques my curiosity. On that note, I think I'll bring this to a close. Well, I'm gonna talk a bunch during the end slate anyway. It's Dan again! In Denton. Splendid, I was gone for like 2 seconds. I never wanted my first negative video to be based on anything Fire Emblem. I'll likely talk about it again someday. Feel free to leave any comments and subscribe if you'd like to keep in touch with my future endeavours. You call the shots. On that note, I propose to you all a simple question. Do you like darkness? That's how I'm gonna end it. That wasn't cringeworthy or anything.